Good morning, everybody. It's Sha Marie. I'm going to make a necklace today in copper, and I'm going to use the Pantone color of the year, which is called Peach Fuzz. I'm not really 100% sure if I would call this peach or apricot, but I guess they're all in the same family, so close enough. Considering it's what I had in my stash, and I just pulled stuff from my stash to kind of make this Peach Fuzz Pantone color of the year theme. I think it's a pretty good match, and I think it will work just fine. So I'm going to make components, little flower components like this, and I think I want 5 of them, and that's going to be the central part of the necklace, kind of in here. I pulled these little copper spacers from my stash. The bead caps all came from Bargain Bead Box, sister store, Bead Box Bargains. I have several different bead caps going here. I have these little ones, and this one, and this one. And they have all at different times come from the sister store. You can get them anywhere. You could go online, you could check Etsy or eBay or any of the places and just buy, a assorted bunch of different bead caps. And you don't have to go with copper, obviously. You could go with silver or gold or anything. Rose gold would even be really pretty with it. This also came from the sister store. Actually, it didn't come from the sister store. It did in a sense. It was part of a box once, and then I bought extras from the sister store, so I had more of them. And let me see, these little bicones, these little 8mm bicones are also from the sister store, or were at some point in time. Again, they've been in my stash. Doesn't mean they won't be back again. They could very well be, especially now that this is the color of the year. But this is the strand for it. Oh, they're 6mm, not 8mm. Gosh, they look huge for 6. But they're 6mm, evidently. So, get that out of the way. These little drops also did. And they were just a strand of these little center drilled crystal drops. Very pretty. A lot of sparkle to them. It says light rose, but they look peachy to me. So there's that. And the little lucite flowers came in a mixed bag that I bought on Amazon. And it was a big, huge mixed bag of colors, and I've made a ton of stuff with it and still have more of them. So just check on Amazon. They have them in different sizes, and they have different quantity bags, and they actually have mixed bags or all of just one color. So if you're looking for them, check there. You'll find it. So to get started, I want to do up 6 of these for the side. They are going to have a chain link in between. The chain also came from the Bargain Bead Box sister store. It was also part of a box at one time. So, but again, any copper chain or whatever color you're working with. I particularly like these ones because they do have the big links, and I just like the way they look. They're like a wide link, and they open and close, which makes it nice, like a jump ring does. So I'm just doing 6 link pieces. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 6 links. And I'm just going to attach each one to one of these little components, just to do a little stringed beaded, chain, like a stringed chain, a beaded chain. I can't speak. Like a beaded chain. There we go. That's the word. And it will just be 6 of them on the side. This is what I'm thinking anyway. I may end up having to shorten it. I don't know. I have not put it together. But so I'm just going to cut, and I'll show you the whole steps using these ones over here that I have not already started. But I'm just going to cut it. grab it on the end with my round nose pliers, simply walk it in little tiny steps until I get almost all the way there, and then I'm going to put it into the hook, grab the back one, and tighten it up. That helps tighten up the bead cap so it's not so floppy. It brings it in a little tighter. So there, well, that one came out floppy anyway, but oh well. that's life. So I'm going to take a copper eye pin, just one of these cute little, I think they were called a rope or bumpy rope bead cap. I don't have the paperwork for them because I just put them all in a container. One of those little crystal bicones and another bead cap, and that's all I'm going to do for the 12 of these. Just put it on my fingernail, bend it over to get a nice tight bend, find my cutters, give it a cut, and again. Just take your time, take little tiny bites down it, take it, like I said, almost there, and then bring it in tight, and you'll have a nice ring. So I'm going to finish those up, and I will be right back. So I've got all of these 12 little components completed, and now I'm cutting my chain sections at 6 links. So I'm just counting out 6 links on here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 6th one, I'm just opening it like a jump ring. They're hard to find the openings on these though. I think it's right there, but generally if you twist it'll open up somewhere. And it's underneath evidently because that's where it's opening. Make sure I've got the right one still. There it goes. And I'm just doing this because I don't want to waste any of the chain. You can just cut it. So they were on my 6 sections of that, well 10 sections of that actually. The 6 beads, 5 sections of chain. So now we're going to make the little flower component. So we're going to take a little copper head pin. This is the ball head pin. And go up this little tube of the crystal, the fat end down. And then drop your lucite flower right over it. And then I'm going to take the bell, the more belled copper bead cap, and put it on over the bead, over the lucite flower. Then I'm going to take the bigger one and do it like a little cup, so it's up. Drop on my bicone, and then take the little bumpy roped little bead cap like we used in these little sections, and pull everything down where it belongs. I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers, just give it a little bend, then roll my pliers up into that bend, come over the top, rotate my pliers, continue that loop. And it's a little loose and floppy right now because the space that's going to be wrapped is empty, so they're kind of moving, but so you've got this, and I'm just going to hold on to that and take my other pliers, and I'm under a camera, so forgive me if I don't get this great. And I'm I'm just going to wrap that as much as I can with this little head pin. Three is good if you have longer head pins. I think I'm probably just going to get 3 with this one. So there we have that. And you can just kind of put everything back into shape. And I have a little bit of a tail to cut off. Just tuck that in. And here's the flower. So I'm going to do a couple more of these, not under the camera, so I can get them good and tight. And I will be right back. And there we go. I got all 5 of these put together. They look like little lights. Kind of pretty. Almost like a little Christmas light. So I'm going to finish up these last 2 here with you. And one last one. Alright, so I'm just going to link these sections together, and I think I'm just going to open the eyes. It's a little easier than opening the jump rings. If I can find the right side. There we go. Cut my nail. I have absolutely no idea how long this is going to come out, so if it ends up being too much, I'll just remove one of these sections here. Then again, my too much could be somebody else's perfect, so you do you. It's looking really pretty though. Kind of has like a vintage look to it. I think this color with the antique copper and then that peach tends to lend itself to a very vintagey look anyway. Almost there. I won't make you sit through watching me string the other one up. It's just going to be the same process all the way up. So I am beginning and ending with a link. There's no chain on either side at this moment. And here's that. That's really pretty. I love that color. Okay, I'm going to finish up this one, and it's going to look just like that one. I'm going to do the same steps, and I will return again. So now we have everything basically structurally put together. Now it's just a simple matter of opening and closing a lot of jump rings and just hooking all this together. So I'm going to have this, move these out of the way for a second here, try to give you an idea of how it's going to get laid out. I love these little components. I think they're so sweet. We've had them several times in our boxes in different colors. Okay, now, because these lay flat this way and this is going to go this way, I've got to put some type of connector in between, and that's where these little ones will come in, because they will lay, if it makes sense, they will lay the opposite way to keep everything flat. So let me show you what I mean. And these little ones are a 4mm. So when I open this up and catch the jump ring and this loop, it's going to make that jump ring continue to lay flat, because that's what the charm is going to hang off from. So in between each of these little links there will be two small jump rings and the larger one, and I need to trim a little off in this one because this is one of those lovely ones that overlap. Hopefully that's enough, not too much. Perfect. So now you can see when I lay it down, it lays flat. And then from that point, I am going to have to open my jump ring, the bigger one, because I gotta put that wired, doesn't have an open end, so I just need to open it a little bit. Actually, I think I'm going to take that off, put that on, and then put that on so that the opening is at the top rather than the bottom. Oh no, actually probably if I'd done it at the bottom, I guess it doesn't matter, it's going to move. It doesn't make a bit of difference. That jump ring is going to swivel and move, and I didn't even need to do that. There we have that right there. Again, there's going to be a jump ring here. So I'm just going to finish these up. I'll do a couple more here, right here with you. I do want to make a pair of earrings afterwards, so I don't want this to get too long. Jump ring, the other end of this, close that up. Probably should have gotten trimmed a little bit too, but it's not too bad. I think I can close it. I warped it a little bit, but that's okay. I can live with it. Until I'm through all these jump rings, I can live with it. Now, of course I got it twisted, so. Alright, there it goes so far. I'm going to add this one to it first, this little flower component. I might as well add my jump ring right on at the same time. I'm still going to have to open it anyway, but that's alright. And I get that little jump ring that I just added when I added that. Check it, see if I need to trim it first. I do. Oh, these jump rings are just going to be the death of me. Oh well, we'll get through them eventually. And my other little component, little link. Call everything a component. Doesn't matter if it's a link or if it's something I put together, they're all components. Alright, so this is what we've got so far. Once I get them untangled, they will lay flat. This one is supposed to lay flat. I might have it on there wrong. Yeah, I think I put that on the wrong side. Alright, so that is something to watch for, I guess, is the making sure you get this put on the right side, because if not, it's going to want to twist your jump ring. Let's try this again. If I can get that opening. Probably should have just put it on the other way like I did last one, but I thought I'd do something fancy. It didn't work so well. That one that way, I want that one that way, and alright, here we go. This is what I did wrong right here. I need to put this on, and then put this on here so that it's hanging on the right side. Otherwise, it's hanging on the opposite side of the jump ring, and then it has to twist to lay flat. It won't lay flat actually at all. So I'll get that closed back up. Now, if I did it right this time, it should be hanging on the right side, and it should lay flat. And did I? Yeah, I did. I just haven't laid that way. There. Ta-da! This is how it should lay. These should be hanging on this side. I had this one, so it was hanging on that side, and I kept wanting to bring it down, but it kept twisting the jump rings, so make sure you're laying it on the correct side. Alright, I'm going to finish the rest. I will return. Okay, we are down to the last one, and I wanted to come back and do it with you again, just so you could watch me struggle. No, but I just wanted to make sure that everyone got it, because it was a little confusing the first time around. So I want to make sure everything is laying nice and flat. Take your smaller jump ring, hook your bigger jump ring, and your link. My pliers are always in the way. I cannot hold them the correct way. I know you're supposed to hold them the opposite way. I've said that before, but it just feels really awkward in my hand. Okay, make sure that closed up, because these jump rings are just trash. Laid in the right direction. If you check it every time you're putting them on, make sure everything is flat. You shouldn't have an issue with that at the end, finding it to be messed up. You just want to, take your time, each link, sort it all out, get everything back in the right order. Clearly I've got one twisted somewhere. Once it's put together, we won't have this issue anymore. But just take your time, get it all nice and flattened back out. Here we go. Everything's back in the right configuration. Now the last thing we need to do is open up the big jump ring Put on our last component, put on our last small jump ring. Try to keep everything nice and flat, which isn't always easy because you do have to kind of lift it to, you know, as I'm lifting it, I'm obviously not like keeping it flat, but come over to this last jump ring. And this one needs trimming. It's funny, some of them do and some of them don't. Get it past my finger. Get in there and trim it, but can't get it past my finger. There we go. I know some of you are much more advanced at this than others, and you've probably got your own ways of doing it and everything, and that's, you know, of course, absolutely acceptable. You want to work with what's comfortable for you. And now I've got this all messed up again because I dropped it. Alright, let's get these links back into place. This is why I did the rest of them off screen. I didn't want to make you guys all sit through this. The way my fingers work is not always pretty, so. Just get them all entangled again, or all flipped in the right direction again. Make sure they're laying flat. There we go. Perfect. Now if we can get this last one on there without losing everything. Get it closed. There. There we go. I will go through afterwards and retighten all those jump rings because I'm not 100% sure I got every one of them nice and tight, but there is the necklace so far. So again, we're going to take, wow, I don't even know where that went. Take a little jump ring and attach to this link and this little component we made. Now I gotta dig out another jump ring. Because I do not know where that one went to. Of course I don't have an extra one out. Of course not. Alright, let me dig one out. My bin of copper. There we go. Probably should have dug out more anyways because I'm going to end up having to do clasps and whatnot, but this one should have been trimmed just a little bit. Perfect. Now if it's still laying the same, nope. That's really pretty. I'll hold it up to me and see if I need to add chain or if I just want to put a link on it. I think just a little bit of chain, and I think with the clasp and all I want it like a total of 4 inches, so I'm only going to cut 3 inches of chain. Of course, cut in half, that'll be 1.5 inches for each side. And I am just going to go ahead and cut that length this time. Fold this in half, see if I'm on an even number or an odd. If I'm on an odd, I can just cut the odd number out. But if I'm on an even, I'll open it up. And I am on an odd, so I can just cut this one away. Maybe. And I'm going to just add them right to the ends of this. Make sure I've got the right side. I always want to open up the wrong side. Get them in there tight. Sometimes it's hard to tell which side is the opening side. There we go. I think this is going to be really pretty. Just simple and elegant. Alright, there is that. Now, to put a clasp on it. I was going to go with the clamshell, but I think I will go with a toggle. Just something simple. Although I could go with a clamshell, I could do a drop down the back, but do I want to do that? Yeah, I do. Alright, so we'll take out this. We'll take out bigger jump ring. That means I need to wire up another drop, but that's okay. Get out a couple more of these little head pins. Nope, that's not my long ones. That's some short ones. Get another one of these. Add a length of chain to hang down the back. That looks good. I'm not going to do any particular length. I'm just going to cut off something that looks good. Just to hang down the back. Alright. Oops, should have got out another jump ring. Oh, I did. Nope. That size right there is good. And that's just to attach the chain to the lobster clasp. God, these jump rings are terrible. I don't know if you can see. I know I've tried to show you guys before how bad they are, but it's really hard to show. See how much that overlaps right there? I mean, that's enough that you can't put that jump ring together correctly. I have to cut a piece of it out for it to line up. Which means I've got to take it, bring in my cutters, and I like to try to do, you know, cut so that they're going to be flush together. And cut out that piece that overlapping piece. Well, I thought I cut it. So now they're going to line up so much better. My cutters didn't do a great job cutting that. It should have been a little more flush, a little more flat, but at least they will line up now. So open it up, put on our lobster clasp. Close it up. And yeah, see much better that closed. It closed right up to each other, and there's a little bit of a gap still, but nothing I can't get in there and fix. But I don't trust these jump rings. I really don't trust them at all. Okay, so you can really see it on this one. This one has got a huge overlap. Okay, it's almost like a split ring. There's so much extra there overlapping. There's no, whoop, as it goes flying. There is absolutely no way you can ever bring that back together if you don't trim it. So it's just ridiculous. It shouldn't be like that. Now we'll be able to bring it together correctly. But you shouldn't have to trim your jump rings. And if you are, you've really got a bad batch. So hook that on, hook the chain to the necklace on, close that back up, and then figure out what I want to do for the drop to hang off the back of this. I think it's just going to be one of these. Should I put a bead cap on top or no? Should I just do it like that? Let's see. Let's see what it looks like with the bead cap on it. I'm just going to go with these little tiny ones. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to do it just to, I don't know. We'll do it. We'll see what happens. Alright, so I'm just going to give that just a little bit of a space in the bend for wire wrapping. These pins are so soft. Not hard to bend by any means. And then go over my barrel, rotate my barrel, bring it around. Same old, same old. Hold on to my loop. Take my pliers and just give it a couple good wraps. Make it nice and tight. It's not the prettiest wrap, but cut it off. And use these ones to give it a little squeeze in there, tuck it. And there's my little end dangle. I'm just going to open the link of the chain up. Maybe. These chains do have a very good closure on the links. They're hard to spot. Let's see if I found it. Yep, I did. And the necklace is complete. I think it's really pretty. Very vintagey. Very in keeping with the vintage, not vintage, Pantone color of the year. Alright, so let's do an earring. And let me see where I'm at time-wise. Am I doing both? You might be able to get both in. Try to keep it within an hour time frame. People get a little bored after a while. We'll do one. We'll see what we get. And honestly, these are the exact component as the ones hanging from the necklace, so it's the same thing anyway. So probably just do one. Do the one off camera. So it's just the ball pin. And I'm going the wrong way. I started out the right way and then I turned myself. And the lucite flower. And the more domed bead cap. And again, you know, this is just bead caps I had in my own stash. Use what you've got, you know, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to put this cute little flowery one upside down. Cup, makes a little cup for my crystal. And then a little topper with one of these cute little bumpy, ropey looking, almost like a little flower. And we'll put in our loop. Grab the loop, grab the end, if you want to strive for a nice pretty wrap, you know, and you know how to do that, perfect. Or you can just do a sort of messy wrap, which is what mine usually tend to end up being. I'm okay with that. As long as it's tight. That's the main thing. You don't want everything flopping around. You know, you want it to be good and tight. Give it a little trim. And a little tuck. Make sure everything's all lined up and in place. And that's it. That's all there is to it. It's just a simple earring to match the components on our yeah, I'll spit the word out eventually, on our necklace. There we go. I didn't get out ear wires, apparently. And then we'll just put in ear wire on it and call it a day. And I'll make the other one, and I'll be right back once I get that one on. I think that's really pretty. I shall return. So here's a look at the whole set completed. I think it came out very pretty. I'm thinking now, though, I should have added maybe one of these components into the earring. So again, I'm going to pause real quick. I'll be right back because I want to see how it looks. And so here is a look with it, and here's a look without it. So this is with it. I did have to use a small jump ring here to attach it. If I had thought of it beforehand, I would have just wire wrapped it right on. But I think it looks fine. So there is with it. I don't know if I can't get it in the light very well because, of course, I have everything else on the table here, and I want to focus on that instead. So there's with it, and this is without it, which is just as pretty. And it's just that necklace component with the ear wire hooked right to it. Let me move the necklace out of the way, maybe you can see them just a tad better. So if you like it a little longer, you know, adding that extra piece in is quite pretty. If you wanted it a little shorter, you wouldn't have to. So that's, you know, a matter of preference there. It's an option. And so let me get it on a form and show it to you. So here we have the finished product hanging. Gosh, I think it came out really pretty. They do look like Christmas lights to me. I did go ahead and add the other link to the earring. I kind of like them long. I think it looks really pretty. And if I can turn this around without blurring it for everybody. Here is the chain component up over the shoulder. Let me continue turning it. And there's the back and the dangle. Back. Trying to show you all angles. So yeah, there you have it. I think it came out really pretty. Again, working with the Pantone Color of the Year Peach Fuzz. It kind of disappears in the black background on this one, but I don't have a really good white form. Something I need to invest in, I suppose. But yeah, there it is. I think it came out really nice. I hope you all liked it. So please join me again. Please subscribe if you haven't. I would really love for you to subscribe. I have just gone over my 1,000 subscriber mark. I hit 1003 this morning, and I'm so thankful to you all. I do appreciate it very, very much. I want to get together everyone and put you in one of those little random draws and do a nice random drawing for you. And please subscribe if you're, if you haven't yet. Don't feel like you can't because I've already, you might still make it into the drawing because I have not done it yet. And, if you're from out of the country, I will end up having to have you pay shipping. I'm so sorry about that. But I'll give you an option if you win. You can either pay for the shipping on what I'm going to send. It's a multi-tool, a whole bag of beads, a beading mat, some really nice things. Or I can get you a, if you should happen to win and you're out of the States, I can get you maybe a gift card to Bargain Bead Box store so you can go in and do some shopping or something. But yeah, I think what I want to do is at this point, if if you see this video and you made it to the end of it and you want to be entered in the drawing, write drawing in a comment to me, and your name will go into the drawing. I think that's the best way I can do it. I want you to, all get a chance. So, yeah, and I'm going to keep this open for, I'll keep it open for, how about 30 days? We'll do 30 days. So after the 30-day mark, if you watch this video beyond that point, it's going to be over with. The 30-day mark being, today is the 27th. How about we do February 28th? February 28th will be the deadline for the drawing. So yeah, write a comment to me, write enter for the drawing, or write drawing, or entering the drawing, somewhere along those lines, and I will put your name in the random drawing on February 28th, and somebody will win. Yeah, somebody will win something nice. Thank you all for joining me. Love you all. Please, 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 please keep sharing this with other people that are in your beadie community. Let them know I'm out there. So, share the love. Thank you all. Bye-bye.